Imagine waking up one day to find that every mundane object around you, from a pencil to an empty bottle, is suddenly brimming with life and beauty. Intrigued? This is just one of the transformative experiences shared in Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, a Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. Today we're diving deep into this life-changing audiobook that promises to reshape your perspective on life and consciousness.
Welcome to Aspire with the Florrices. Let's ignite your aspirations together.
Welcome to our review of The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, an audiobook that has captivated millions with its profound insights into spiritual enlightenment. In this review, we'll explore how Tolle's teachings guide you to discover inner peace by living fully in the present moment. Let's embark on this journey together. But first, let's listen to a mesmerizing excerpt from the audiobook itself, narrated by Eckhart Tolle.
Myself fall into that void. I have no recollection of what happened after that. I was awakened by the chirping of a bird outside the window. I had never heard such a sound before. My eyes were still closed and I saw the image of a precious diamond. Yes, if a diamond could make a sound, this is what it would be like. I opened my eyes. The first light of dawn was filtering through the curtains. Without any thought, I knew that there's infinitely more to light than we realize. That soft luminosity filtering through the curtains was love itself. Tears came into my eyes. I got up and walked around the room. I recognized the room, and yet I knew that I had never truly seen it before. Everything was fresh and pristine, as if it had just come into existence. I picked up things, a pencil, an empty bottle, marveling at the beauty and aliveness of it all. That day I walked around the city in utter amazement at the miracle of life on earth, as if I had just been born into this world. For the next 5 months, I lived in a state of uninterrupted deep peace and bliss. After that, it diminished somewhat in intensity, or perhaps it just seemed to because it became my natural state. I could still function in the world, although I realized that nothing I ever did could possibly add anything to what I already had. I knew, of course, that something profoundly significant had happened to me, but I didn't understand it at all. It wasn't until several years later, after I had read spiritual texts and spent time with spiritual teachers, that I realized that what everybody was looking for had already happened to me. I understood that the intense pressure of suffering that night must have forced my consciousness to withdraw from its identification with the unhappy and deeply fearful self, which is ultimately a fiction of the mind. This withdrawal must have been so complete that this false suffering self immediately collapsed, just as if a plug had been pulled out of an inflatable toy. What was left then was my true nature as the ever-present I am. Consciousness in its pure state, prior to identification with form. Later, I also learned to go into that inner timeless and deathless realm that I had originally perceived as a void and remain fully conscious. I dwelt in states of such indescribable bliss and sacredness that even the original experience I just described pales in comparison. A time came when, for a while, I was left with nothing on the physical plane. I had no relationships, no job, no home, no socially defined identity. I spent almost 2 years sitting on park benches in a state of the most intense joy. But even the most beautiful experiences come and go. More fundamental, perhaps, than any experience is the undercurrent of peace that has never left me since then. Sometimes it is very strong, almost palpable, and others can feel it too. At other times, it is somewhere in the background, like a distant melody. Later, people would occasionally come up to me and say, "I want what you have. Can you give it to me or show me how to get it?" And I would say, "You have it already. You just can't feel it because your mind is making too much noise." That answer later grew into the book that you are listening to now. Before I knew it, I had an external identity again. I had become a spiritual teacher. This book represents the essence of my work as far as it can be conveyed in words, with individuals and small groups of spiritual seekers during the past 10 years in Europe and in North America. In deep love and appreciation, I would like to thank those exceptional people for their courage, their willingness to embrace inner change, their challenging questions, and their readiness to listen. This book would not have come into existence without them. They belong to what is as yet a small but fortunately growing minority of spiritual pioneers. People who are reaching a point where they become capable of breaking out of inherited collective mind patterns that have kept humans in bondage to suffering for eons. I trust that
The Power of Now is more than just a self-help book. It is a guide to transforming our lives by changing the way we perceive the world around us. It is a profound exploration of human consciousness, delving deep into the nature of our thoughts and emotions. Tolle challenges us to examine our relationship with our thoughts, urging us to question the constant mental chatter that often dominates our minds. He helps us see that we are not our thoughts, but rather the awareness that observes them. We are the awareness behind them, the silent observer that remains unchanged. The book's central premise is simple yet profound. The key to happiness is to become fully present in the now, to live each moment as it comes. When we are present, we are no longer consumed by worries or regrets about the past or future. We are free to experience life with clarity and joy, embracing the beauty of each moment. Tolle introduces the concept of the ego as the voice in our heads that keeps us trapped in suffering, constantly seeking validation and control. The ego thrives on negativity, feeding on our past pain and anxieties about the future. It feeds on past pain and future anxieties, creating a cycle of suffering that can seem inescapable. By learning to observe our thoughts without judgment, we can detach from the ego's grip and find a sense of inner freedom. This detachment allows us to access a place of deep inner peace, where we can connect with our true selves and the world around us in a meaningful way. The ego is a master storyteller. It weaves intricate tales of past hurts and future worries. These stories keep us trapped in a cycle of suffering. We identify so strongly with these stories, we believe they define us. But Tolle argues that these stories are not who we are. They are simply thoughts. The ego is always looking for something to cling to. It seeks validation from the outside world. This constant seeking creates a sense of lack and dissatisfaction. When we can observe the ego without judgment, we begin to loosen its hold. We realize that we are not our thoughts. We are the awareness that is always present beneath the surface. Detachment, in Tolle's teachings, does not mean indifference or apathy. It means freeing ourselves from the ego's need to control. It means letting go of our attachment to outcomes. When we detach from our thoughts and emotions, we experience a profound sense of liberation. We no longer feel the need to react to every thought or feeling that arises. This detachment allows us to experience life with greater clarity and peace. We are able to respond to situations from a place of calmness and wisdom. Detachment is not something we achieve overnight. It is a gradual process of becoming more aware of our thoughts and patterns. With practice, we can learn to observe our thoughts without getting carried away by them. Section 5. Mindfulness, Embracing the Now. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing our attention to the present moment, fully engaging with the here and now. It is about becoming aware of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment, allowing them to come and go like clouds in the sky. When we practice mindfulness, we cultivate a sense of presence, grounding ourselves in the current moment. We become more attuned to the beauty and simplicity of life, noticing the small details, that often go unnoticed. We notice the warmth of the sun on our skin, the gentle caress of the breeze. We appreciate the taste of our food, savoring each bite with full awareness. Mindfulness allows us to step off the treadmill of our thoughts and connect with the stillness within, finding a sanctuary of calm. In this stillness, we find peace, a deep sense of tranquility that nourishes our soul. There are many ways to cultivate mindfulness, each offering a unique path to presence. Meditation is one powerful practice helping us to center our minds and open our hearts. We can also practice mindfulness in our everyday activities, bringing a sense of awareness to each moment. We can pay attention to our breath as we wash the dishes, feeling the water and the texture of the soap. We can notice the sensations of our feet on the ground as we walk, each step a reminder of our connection to the earth. Section 6. The transformative power of presence. When we are fully present, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We become more aware of our intuition. We are more receptive to new ideas and opportunities. Presence allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. We listen with our full attention. We offer empathy and compassion. When we are present, we are no longer defined by our past or worried about the future. We are free to experience life with a sense of joy and wonder. The more we practice presence, the more it becomes our natural state of being. We begin to experience a sense of peace and contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. Is Section 7, Personal Reflections, A Journey into the Now. The power of now has had a profound impact on my own life, transforming the way I perceive and interact with the world around me. Before discovering Tolle's teachings, I was trapped in a cycle of anxiety and worry, unable to find peace in the present moment. I was constantly dwelling on the past and fretting about the future, which left me feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. Reading The Power of Now was like waking up from a dream, a revelation that shifted my entire perspective on life. I realized that I had a choice, a powerful realization that I could change the way I experienced each moment. I could continue to live in a state of constant stress, allowing my mind to control my emotions, or I could choose to embrace the present moment, finding peace and stillness in the here and now. It hasn't always been easy, and there have been many challenges along the way. The ego is a cunning adversary, always trying to pull me back into old patterns of thinking. But with practice, I have learned to become more aware of my thoughts, observing them without judgment. I am able to observe them without getting carried away, allowing me to stay grounded in the present. As I have cultivated more presence in my life, I have experienced a profound sense of peace and contentment, a deep inner calm that permeates my daily existence. I am more patient and compassionate, able to connect with others on a deeper level. I am more present in my relationships, truly listening and engaging with the people I care about. Section 8, Practical Steps. Integrating mindfulness into daily life. Integrating Tolle's teachings into our daily lives doesn't require drastic changes. It starts with small conscious shifts in our awareness. One simple practice is to set aside a few minutes each day for mindful breathing. Find a quiet space. Close your eyes. Focus on the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your body. Another powerful practice is to bring mindfulness to our everyday activities. Pay attention to the sensations of washing the dishes. Notice the feeling of the sun on your skin as you walk outside. When you find yourself feeling stressed or overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths. Bring your attention to the present moment. Ask yourself, what is happening right now? Am I safe? What do I need in this moment? Section 9. The Path to Spiritual Enlightenment. Tolle suggests that the ultimate goal of mindfulness is spiritual enlightenment. This is not about achieving some lofty state of perfection. It is about realizing our true nature as pure awareness. When we are able to detach from our thoughts and emotions, we connect with a deeper dimension of ourselves. This is the realm of pure consciousness, which Tolle refers to as being. Spiritual enlightenment is not a destination. It is a journey of awakening to the present moment. It is about living with greater awareness, compassion, and joy. The practices of mindfulness and presence are powerful tools for spiritual growth. They help us to quiet the mind, open the heart, and connect with the divine within. Section 10, Conclusion: Embracing the Power of Now for a Fuller Life. The power of now is a timeless guide to living a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Tolle's teachings offer a path to freedom from suffering and a way to experience lasting peace and joy. By embracing the present moment, we tap into our true power. We discover an inner strength and resilience that allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and ease. The journey into the now is a lifelong adventure. It is a process of continuous learning and growth, but the rewards are immeasurable. For in the stillness of the present moment, we discover the true meaning of peace, joy, and love.
Here's a thought that might stir the pot. Some critics argue that Tolle's ideas, while profound, are overly simplistic and impractical in the hustle and bustle of modern life. But isn't simplicity what we need? In a world constantly vying for our attention, Tolle's message to slow down and be present is perhaps more revolutionary than ever. If you're intrigued and ready to explore a new dimension of consciousness, The Power of Now is a must-listen. For a limited time, you can get a free copy with a 60-day Audible trial on Amazon. We'd love to hear your thoughts on The Power of Now. Did it change your perspective? Share your experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful and inspirational reviews. Until next time, stay present and stay enlightened.
Thank you for tuning in at Aspire with the Florrices. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.